Anthony Hartwig here with episode 2 of Coach's Corner with South Range Girls head coach Jeff Fishel. Coach, as always, thank you so much for the time giving it to us.
It's my pleasure. I'm happy you guys got a chance to have me again and appreciate it.
All right, so when we had you the first time, it was a season preview. Obviously, expectations for this team were set. And now that we have a couple of games under your belt and plenty of practices, plenty of gym time, first question is how does what you have now compare to kind of the expectations you set back in that preview?
Well, I think we're right where we need to be, or maybe not where we need to be. That's probably not the right way to put it, but probably right where we thought we'd be. We knew that we had a lot of things we needed to work on, and with a different group of girls this year, just needed to get some game experience in and start figuring some things out. And on a daily basis, we're starting to get there. So just kind of on pace right now.
And first two games of the season, obviously tough losses, but against high quality teams. Edgewood was undefeated until last night, and Boardman, that Division One powerhouse. What kind of things did you kind of learn from those first two games and testing yourselves against two really quality opponents?
Yeah, I thought we actually played really well against Edgewood. It's a team with one of the best players in the state, and they've got everybody back from last year. Really well coached and really disciplined. So really good basketball team, and I thought we played well. And then Boardman, just Coach Hammerton does such a great job in the way they pressure you, and their length gave us problems. So we learned early that we're capable of playing well, but we need to be more organized. And size is going to be an issue for us all season. We're probably not going to play in a single game where we have a size advantage. So we're going to have to figure some of those things out. Boardman was able to kind of put a magnifying glass on that and make it obvious with their length, and that really hurt us being able to get our offense set up. So, there's things that we're aware of, and as we see it, we can figure out how to adapt and change some things and figure out how we're going to deal with it.
After that kind of start, a lot of teams might lose confidence a little bit, but not you guys. You go into your league play and get your first, not just first win of the league play, but also first win of the season. It was a tough one. You had to battle back against Hubbard. You were down multiple digits a couple of times in the game. What did it take to get that win, and how important was that win for just locker room morale?
Well, I think anytime that you get a win, it helps the girls understand that the message we're giving them at practice can kind of start to resonate with them a little bit and builds the confidence and gets them believing in themselves. People forget that last year, Hoban beat us by 187 points on the first night, and then Salem gave us a lot of problems, just like Boardman did on our second game last year. We started last year 0-2, and nobody panicked last year. And so those girls have been through that. And so there was no panic this year. They know that the job is to show up every day, whether it's practice or a game, and get better. And so 0-2, 2-0, it wouldn't have mattered. We would have had the same approach, and proud of the girls for how they responded. And certainly definitely feels good a couple wins, though, and let them be rewarded.
All right, so here's the thing about league play. You guys have been, at the top or second every year that it's been in existence, and you're 2-0 now. So what have been some of the talks about, getting into conference play and taking these games and making sure that everything's as tight as possible for these conference games?
Well, I'm so proud of the girls that we got those first two conference wins. Nick Blanchard Poland are good friends, and I text him, and I think he realized this, but so this will be the 7th time we've played them since I've been here, and all 7 times, at least a share of first place is going to be on the line when we play them. And so our girls set that up by winning the first 2 league games that we had this year. And so it's 2-0 in the league South Range versus 2-0 in the league Poland, the way it's supposed to be, and we're excited about that. But this is probably the deepest that the NE8 has been since it's been formed. Everybody's going to be competitive on a nightly basis. Obviously, Struthers is really good. Lakeview and Girard are really good. And Niles, Hubbard, Jefferson. We've seen what they can do. We've seen how they can compete. So it's, as always, going to be a challenge on a nightly basis, and you better buckle up and bring a good game, because you're going to be challenged no matter what gym you're in. And that's what makes it so fun to play in this league. And again, that's why we play the very challenging non-conference schedule that we play, because we need to do that to prepare ourselves for what we're going to be against in the NE8.
I feel like every year we're talking about South Range Poland and what this game means and what it has meant. But here we go again. Like you said, it's a battle for first place. Preview this game, what you kind of see out of Poland on film this year, maybe some different challenges or different things they do from years past, and what you think it'll take to get a win on Thursday.
Well, we know where we're at, and I think if you ask anybody, they're going to tell you we're the underdogs in this game. And I know that, and our girls know that. We understand that, and we've talked about it, and so part of that takes a little bit of pressure off us. But watch plenty of Poland film. Poland is Poland. There's some tweaks in there and changes that they've made, but really talented, obviously, really well coached. Have a phenomenal system that is just really, really disciplined and hard to go against. They run that 2-2-1 press that drops back into that kind of hybrid 2-3 zone where they get a little bit higher, and it's just really hard to play against. And they want to wear you down and keep beating you over the head and slowly but surely pull away from you. And they've done that in almost every game. Salem was a tough game, but obviously Salem is one of the best teams around. So, we're able to learn a lot from watching that game, but we know we have our hands full and obviously respect the heck out of what they do over there.
Is it hard to replicate what Poland's able to do in practice and try to get your players like scouting ready for things that they do?
I tell you this, and I don't know if you'll put this on before we play the game, but our younger kids, our JV team, are very talented, and they're great kids, and they're sponges, and they're really smart. And so we've been able with them to put in a pretty good replica of what Poland does. Not saying that we can run it at the same speed or be in the same spots or it's not their varsity team, but it gives us a good look. And we went against it about 20 minutes in practice last night and didn't score a bucket. Didn't score a bucket against our JV team running Poland's defense. And I'm just sitting there with my head down. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. We can't score against our JV team running their defense. How are we going to score against them? And so we actually put in their defense. So we're going to run their defense, probably not against them, but we made it part of our defense for our JV team because they ran it so well. And, I'm proud of those kids because they understand that's their job and they don't get the limelight on game night that our varsity players do. But for our JV kids to come in and do that, proud of them. And, you can't simulate them, but really, really happy that they're able to give us what they gave us and opened our eyes to some stuff and made us better coaches and made our varsity players better players.
This is the first year that Poland's going to be in Division III as well, so it could be a 3
Let's not talk about that yet. It's the middle of December. I don't need to see Nick 3 times. Let's not talk about that yet.
Well, we'll talk about that the next time you guys play it. But when I was looking at the old schedules, and only once, if I'm not mistaken, only once has this game had a team get above 50. It's been a very low-scoring defensive battle. Some games have been close. Some games have been a little bit more lopsided. Do you expect that same kind of rhythm where it's going to be a really defensive game and scoring is going to be a premium?
I hope so, because that's the only chance we have to beat them. If we let them get over 50, we're going to be in trouble. So, we talk to the girls, and we're not necessarily going to try to slow the game down, but we want to make sure that we make smart decisions on offense. We don't want to rush shots, but we also don't want to just hold on to the ball until we turn it over. So we're going to try to the best we can against the way they play, control the game, and get as much of it as we can at the speed that we want it. And we think if we can do that, we've got a chance to be successful.
I know coaches don't like looking ahead, but there's going to be another game before we talk to you again. You guys got Niles on Monday after you play Poland. A couple of home games in a row. Niles, on Monday coming into South Range as well. Niles a little bit improved from last year. What have you seen from them? Can you preview that game for us before we get out of here for episode 2?
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to dive in too much on them yet. Watch one of their games early on. Obviously, new coach and like what they're doing there. Some talented kids, some big kids that, again, size advantage is going to hurt us. So we're going to have to figure those things out. And, again, happy to have that one at home and take care of things and play the way we play and take care of what we do and figure the rest out.
All right, so here's something I wanted to ask too before we get you out of here. Confidence from your girls. Obviously, you have a lot of players that are stepping into bigger roles this year, bigger roles on the varsity level. How have you seen their confidence, and what have you been doing to try to instill their confidence and try to boost their confidence as much as possible early in the season?
Well, that's a great question, Anthony, because I believe in this team, and I think some of them probably at the beginning of the season didn't believe in themselves, and so it's a nightly focus of ours to make sure that we're focusing on what we do well, complimenting them and letting them know that they're doing a good job, which builds our confidence. And that is something. It doesn't just switch a light and it's there. It's got to be a constant effort to do that. It's got to be a constant focus. You got to keep after it every day, and you build on it one step at a time, one brick at a time, and until you build the thing up to where it needs to be. So I think we're coming along. I think we're having realizations of where we can get to as a team and the work we need to do to get there. And we understand it's not going to be easy, but I've been really refreshed by these girls' attitude, and practice has been fun every night, and we'll just keep doing what we can do every day to get better.
All right, Coach, on that note, we will end episode 2 of Coach's Corner. We thank you for your time. We know you're going to get to your last practice before the game tomorrow. Wish you the best of luck in the next couple of games ahead, and we'll talk to you again next week for episode 3.
As always, good to see you. Thank you, Anthony.
The world looks better in burgundy and gold, right?
The world looks good, better in burgundy and gold.
Got to get your tagline in there.
Yep.
All right.
First suit of the night coming out for Poland, first suit of the season. So
can we get a preview?
It's just the old burgundy one. We're going good old fashioned. Good old fashioned.
I like it. We gotta get Coach Blanchard one.
Never. He'd never do it.
I know.
Appreciate you guys.
We'll keep trying. We'll see you.